Awesome. Welcome back in the field with Benji. We're live on my computer screen and we're going to walk through building these ads together. And then I'm also going to help you find and use a lot of other third-party resources because ads are very advanced. They're very effective when used properly. And if you want a more advanced strategy than you're getting right here, then I'm going to make sure you know the resources to go to get it. And of course, they're going to be free resources. So with that said, we're going to jump into our ad creation. We're going to build some ads together. I'm going to give you the mindsets behind it, the objectives behind it, and just a basic walkthrough that's going to help take you from a little bit of confusion around running your ads to being confident in them, knowing how to track them, knowing how to monitor them, knowing how not to lose money with your Facebook ads. So over here on the left, you can see our ad breakdown, the three steps that we were talking about earlier. The highest level, we have the campaign or the objective. Now, over here, you can see we're on this campaign tab. So this is on the campaign tab over here. This is what we're choosing. We're choosing what is our objective. Now, things like brand awareness is going to be mainly for really big companies. Things like Nike or Lululemon, people who just want to be seen in the news feed. We are going to be working mainly in the consideration tab. So traffic and engagement. Remember, engagement is whether we're boosting posts, getting more page likes, and really getting that out there, which eventually will come back and help us build our page, help us build our retargeting lists. Video views is always a good one. Messages is a bonus little strategy here that I'm going to show you, which is taking people and adding them to your messenger list and getting in a one-on-one conversation from an ad. Conversion is going to be like we went through, going to store traffic, going to conversion for email addresses and people signing up to whatever web forms you have available. This is very hard promotional with one set outcome. And where we're going to be focusing right now is with the engagement and the traffic. So traffic, whether we want to send them to our Facebook page or whether we want to send them to a messenger conversation or off page to a website, it's going to generally be cheaper than trying to opt for conversion. So for the hard call to actions, we're going to go with traffic, and for the engagement and for the softer call to actions, we're going to go with engagement. So that's how we choose our marketing objectives. I would recommend you stay within this column for now, and then once again, like I've taught you, just split test. Test what's working for you, test what's not working for you. Keep the budgets low, and you'll be able to get that feedback on your creatives, on your ads, on everything you need in order to advance further and start trialing new things for yourself. Start actually creating new strategies for yourself that's going to work for you. So then we're going to jump into ad set, which once again, put simply, is just where are we advertising this to? Who is our audience, and where are these going? And of course, we're going to be able to do placements and budget and schedule in there, which we'll go through together. And then the ad or the creative is the final step. So remember, you can have multiple ad sets within a campaign and multiple ads within that ad set. So let's go ahead and create our first ad together. It's going to be a very simple one that most people are going to want to target. So post engagement will be something that we've already posted on our Facebook page. And therefore, it would be very simple, very easy just to get that out further. Something like page likes are going to give us more options that we'll go through together. And each of these are going to give you very different options. But for now, we want to do an engagement ad. We want to get page likes. We want to get those likes rolling in. So name of campaign. So this one is going to be Keeper Bee Like Booster. So Keeper Bee. Now let me show you what Keeper Bee is. If I come over to Facebook, that's not going to take me to Facebook. Neither is that. There we go. Make sure my keyboard's all working. I'm going to come over to my pages, and I'm going to show you this page that I run. You can see I run a lot of pages in here. Keeper Bee right here. Now, this is a physical product that I actually sell. It's a brand that I own, and they're reusable food wraps. So these are food wraps that you can basically use as an alternative to Glad wrap. They're made from cotton and beeswax, so they're sustainable, they're reusable, they're good for the environment, they're good for the bees, they're good for the world, basically, and it's a lot healthier than putting plastic around your food. And so we sell these Keeper Bee wraps mainly on Amazon, and what I do is I want to run some ads to this page to start growing this page and start getting more followers and more likers onto this page, so then I can start selling the Keeper Bee wraps in here and start directing these people back to Amazon. And why I want to do, just a little side note, why I want to do a Facebook page for an Amazon product is because it's very easy to contact these people, very easy to get them on a messenger list, and very easy to get reviews around our product. So that's why I'd use something like an ad to boost the likes, because we don't have many likes yet. Now, like we were talking about in the previous lecture, if you want to create split test, it's very easy to do. Turn it on here and create it at once. Basically, you're going to be able to create 2 ads at once, and you'll be able to compare them side by side. Facebook do all this for you, and you're going to be able to see which ad or which creative or which audience is working the best for you. So we're going to click continue once we have our name. Now, the second thing I like to do is, you can see we're in ad set. We're in that second phase. Going to come in and type in just basically audience 1, because we're not sure where we're going to go with this yet. We're going to do it together, but I want to make sure that everyone knows this is the first set of audience that we're, when I'm looking at the analytics on these ads, that this is the first one that we ran. We can rename it once we get our targeting done correctly. So come in and then choose the page that you want to run it under. Now, this is the page that the ad creative is going to be shown under, and that's why for something like Keep It Bee, I didn't just have Keep It Bee as the title, but I actually had, so I've got my logo up here. Ideally, I'd like to put that B a little bit bigger. So zoomed in, let's see if we can, we can't zoom in now, but we could come back and choose from photos. Let's see, let's go Keep It Bee, profile photos. Not available, that's okay. So we'll keep it like this for now, but ideally I'd like that really big and symbolic and get rid of the text. Now, sustainable and reusable food wraps, I've got that in there because when it displays on the news feed, it's really cool to have that all the way across, because if people click on this, they're going to come back and like my page, as opposed to just having Keep It Bee written there. Now you can see I've done some call to actions on these posts, which is really good. But let's start at the start. We've got audience 1, we've got our page created. Now, this is where we can use a saved audience. If we wanted to retarget people from our pixel, where people have visited our website, or maybe people have visited our Facebook page already, we can create these custom audiences that we can come back and target really easy. Because we don't have this already, we can actually come down and start to create our own audience. So we can create a new audience here. But what we want to do is we want to start targeting people based on their interests and based on their location. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do, you can see actually there's a lot of cool different options based on location. We want to do people who live in this location, and United States is a little bit broad, and you can see over here, it'll always have your potential reach. Now there's 2 ways you can run ads. The first one is to go super broad. The broader, the cheaper the ads, the easier it is to get in front of people, but the less results you're going to get per ad, because it's going to be shown to people who aren't really specifically designed to like your product, because you haven't narrowed down the criteria, narrowed down that filter that we went through together. So what we're going to do is people who are very health conscious, people who are very people live in this location, people who are very green friendly and shop at Whole Foods. So I live in Austin, Texas, and it has a lot of like soccer moms with a good amount of money who love to shop at Whole Foods, love to save the world, save the environment, and which is my perfect target audience. So I want to make sure that they live very close in Austin. And you can see automatically this comes from 90 million people down to 550,000. So that's very narrow targeting. I might actually extend that range just a little bit, 30 miles of Austin to 630,000 people. Now you can add, you can exclude locations if you want, or you can add also people who live in Williamsburg, in New York. So you can see, you can zoom in here on the map and drag and drop that where that needs to be. So over here, we want to drop the pin. I think it's slightly more north. I think it's up here. And then you can remove the ones that you don't want. And you can see it's literally just like a very, very small radius, down to a 1 mile radius. People who live in Williamsburg, which is great, which extends that a few thousand people. Now, women are my target audience. We can have a look what goes over here. 460,000 women who are above 30, generally married women, and obviously women who speak English. Now, these are all filters you can put in, and you can see that it's brought our reach right down to 320,000 people, which is awesome, because the more specific, opposite to broad, means the more money it's going to cost per action, per engagement, but also the better result we're going to get per ad view. So you can see I've already come down in here, and this is where you can add interests and things like connections to start building this audience, this custom audience, to be exactly who you want to target. So we want them to speak English. We want people to be interested in cooking, because remember, these are food wraps, so they wrap food up. So leftover foods, sliced avocados, cut avocados, cooking, cuisine, and recipes I've got here. But once again, you can add a demographic, interest, or behavior, and you can click browse too. If you want to click browse, you can go through parents. Let's have a look. Parents with teenagers. These are generally my target audience, and you can come through, and once again, this is why it's really cool to have different ad sets, because you can come and test each one. Test each of these targeting, test each of these locations, and comparing against each other. Remember, there's no right or wrong. It's all about testing. It's all about figuring out what is right with your niche. Now, the other thing I want to do, because this is a like campaign, we're trying to get more likes for our Facebook page. We want to make sure we're excluding people who like the page already. So Facebook pages, exclude people who like. And this is where you can find new connections too. So you can advertise to people, the friends of people who like your page. You can advertise directly to the people who like your page. Like if we're boosting the post, that would be a great one to do. You've got apps and events here. Exclude people who like your page is what we want to do now, because that is exactly who already like our page and can't actually like our page again. Now, placements. So automatic placements are the best way to start. If you know what you're doing and you want some advanced placements, you can come in and choose exactly where you want to be displayed. Once again, you want to split test them against each other. So Facebook newsfeed is probably the best place to be displayed. You can remove Instagram, you can remove audience network, Messenger, just depending on what you are after. And you can see if you want a mobile or desktop. Remember, most people are actually using mobile these days. So make sure your ad is optimized for mobile, and make sure that you're testing your mobile ads as well. Now, daily budget. Now, this is in the Filipino peso. Don't ask me why I used to live in the Philippines when I used to run a lot of Facebook ads. Basically, we're going to keep it at 1,000 Filipino peso, which I believe is $50 a day. Remember, you can bring this right down to as low as you want. We're actually going to keep it at $50 a day. Run the ad set continuously. Now, Facebook reward consistency. So if you find ads that are winning, if you find ads that are doing well, make sure that you keep them running and keep them going day to day, because if you have that consistent, Facebook are going to get you better results. So optimizing for page likes, we chose that in the objective. Bid strategy. So get the most page likes for your budget. You can set a big cap. So it's like, cool, how much are we actually going to pay per like? You can get that down to 5 cents, 3 cents, 1 cent, depending on how broad your targeting is. But we can get a lot of 1 cent likes from developing countries. But then remember what we talked about in page likes. We want real targeted people. Unless you're just going for social proof, go for those developing countries. Such as India, Philippines are really big ones that are really cheap. The Middle East, Afghanistan has really, really cheap likes, 1 cent likes. You'll be able to grow your page to 1 million likes based on that. But what I advise you do is you go for the 3 to the 5 to the 12 cent likes, which are actually people who are going to go through your funnel. Remember the purpose of your Facebook page. They're going to go through your funnel and they're actually going to buy your product. So delivery type now. Standard delivery type means you're going to spend your budget over the period of time. So you're going to spend $50 over 24 hours. It's going to be spent evenly. It's going to be a very flat line. Accelerated, you're going to spend that budget as quickly as possible. So you might spend $50 within 1 hour, and then 23 hours your ad turns off and you wait till it comes back. So standard is normally the best way to do it, unless you're really rushing for results, especially if you're getting your money spent every day. If your full budget is being spent every day, stick with standard. And even start to bring, if your budget's not being spent, start to bring your budget down to match that. Otherwise, you can run accelerated, and that won't be a problem at all. Let me see if I can find with this button. Cool, no more. That's the advanced options down there. Cool. Now, what we've done, we've got budget and schedule done, daily budget. we need to come over to our actual ad. So ad name, this is going to be keeper be like competition. We're going to name that so we can identify it very easily. And we're going to go through the format, the media, and the text. So format, we want a single image or video, which is going to be the best performing ones. Now, image or video or slideshow. Now, video slideshow, you can have up to 6 different creatives, and you've seen them when they roll across the carousel, which work really well. We are going to have a very simple image that I've created and actually ran. Awesome, so that just cut out for me, but I'm back where I left off, and you can see this is the graphic that I just uploaded. You can crop your image here and make sure it's the right size, and then you can come down and you can see either desktop or newsfeed previews of what your ad is going to look like. Now, the big thing I want you to take away from this creative that we've got is, one, it's bright yellow. It's going to stand out on the newsfeed, and the big text up here says win. Now, remember, you're only allowed 20% text on your image, and there is actually a 20% text tool. So Facebook, add text checker. Come over to here and upload your photo, and it's going to tell you if it's going to be okay with the ad. And you want all these to come up with green ticks, and it's going to be a successful, it's going to be passed by Facebook, and it means it's less than 20% text and it's high quality, and it's going to be a good ad. So you can see what I've got. I've got a big win. I've got valued at $29.99 because what am I doing here? Remember, I'm offering value. I'm offering value for free. I'm offering $30 of value for one page like. Remember, if you want someone to move from one spot to the other, from not liking our page to liking our page, one, we need an optimized page. We need something they can get behind, such as sustainable and reusable food wraps, especially if we're targeting our perfect target audience. I know they're going to like it, but even if they like it, they still have to go out of their way and put their name and their identity behind our page and actually like it. So you can see the very quick call to action right here on people's news feed will be like page. So we're going to get a lot of likes through this. But make sure you're offering value, whether it's a competition, whether it's a really cool post, whether it's like to see more. You want to make sure you have a great call to action. So to celebrate our new Facebook page, we are giving away $1,000 worth of free keeper bee cotton and beeswax, one word, food wraps. Like our new page to win. Now, I've got a like page. We can also have a messenger here. If we want to get them on the messenger list, we can throw emojis in here to grab people's attention. I'm going to put win in capitals here because that's one of those buzzwords that get people's attention right there. I've got what they can win. I've got the valued at. I've got the like to win, the call to action, which is very simple. It looks good on desktop. It looks good on mobile. And we've got call to action up here in the text, which is the key up there in the text. We're we're passionate about our planet, something that everyone can get behind. And we've got our ad going up, the link to our page, the social proof from people who already like it. Kitchen and cooking is our category of our page, and it's all targeted. The objective is to get more page likes. All you have to do is click confirm, and then we start tracking to see how it goes, split testing against other audiences and other demographics that we've got up there. Start split testing that against other ad sets, other placements, other pages, other creatives, and test, and then you just have to gauge how well they're going and double down on what's working and hold off on what's not. More on exactly how to go through these insights and analyze our ads and optimize them in Module 7. But what we need to focus on now is to be able to create audiences and create these audiences through using pixels for people who have already shown interest in our business, so we can target them much cheaper than going for cold traffic with people like this.